Hey guys, Dan from Sterling Self Defense and Chicken. Say hi, Chicken, and Badger over there somewhere. All right, no shooting today. Just got to address a bunch of stupidity that's been going on online. Uh, well, let me go for the first one right now. I wasn't going to talk about this one, but I just saw a post. Guy just said, hold on. Just put his HDR 50 up to 1500 psi and shot it. Well, that's retarded. That's a $60 gun. Those HDR 50s, HDPs, they're shit cheap little $60 guns. That's all they cost. That's all they sell them to the dealer for. How much work do you think they put into those? They're shit springs, they're shit seals. They're barely meant for 850. Putting anything above 850 in those things, you're literally putting your life in your hands. You know, that noob guy, 2-3 months ago, almost blew his hand off. Blood all over the place. Lucky he lived. Guys doing that, before you do that, look up, go on YouTube, HPA accidents. Just regular paintball guys get killed all the time. Blow their heads off, blow their hands off. And that's just using the air the guns are supposed to use. Going over it is ridiculous. Anything over 1,000 psi, I wouldn't even put 1,000 psi in those guns. They're cheap, shitty little guns. You get what you pay for. Is it worth dying? Really? To get your numbers a little higher? And shooting at 1,500, if it didn't blow up in your hand, the gun's getting weaker every time you shoot it. That's that noob guy. He's like, I was shooting at 2,000 yesterday, but today it blew up at 1,200. It almost killed me. Every time you shoot it, it weakens it. They're cheap, shitty little guns. You take them apart, look at them. They're like fucking toys. Whatever. And the M17, same way. A good gun for its money. It's a $300 little fucking gun. It's a cheap gun. You guys think you're going to put 1,500, 1,400? It's going to fucking break. Guaranteed. And hopefully it doesn't blow your head off in the process. Don't do it, guys. M17 maxes out at 1,100. You can use 1,100 safely. I've tested those at 1,100 for years. They're okay at that. I'm not a big fan of the guns, but, you know, they're cheap guns. You get what you pay for. Don't try and jack them up high, and you'll get some use out of them. You know, you see videos. Look at me. I'm shooting 70 joules with an M17. Yeah, you see 1-2 shots, but you don't see that gun's broken after that and never works again. They're cheap shit guns, but they're okay if you keep them down. Keep them in 45, 50 joules. That's enough to stop anybody. 1,100 psi tank. Delete the PRV. You can even on those. You can even delete the reg if you want. That's it. That's really the only mods for those. Don't try and jack them up high, or they're not going to work. They're going to break. All right. So, the next thing. All right. As all you new guys don't know, years ago, the FSC came out 2018, 2019. We all got it. And back then, 30 joules was high. That was a lot of joules. But with the FSC, if you turned up any higher, it would double, triple fire, it would jam. Super inconsistent. It was that way for quite a while. And we all were working on it. And pretty much all of us were ready to throw them the fuck away. You know, the TIPX back then was the other handgun, but a lot bigger, was a lot more reliable because no one could get it up there. But eventually I found out the biggest problem is it worked fine when you had it down low. So I worked my way up to it was failing because of the springs, the bolt spring and the sear spring. For high power, they weren't built for that. The spring was too soft, and the sear spring, keep this in mind, and bolt spring work together. It's a timing thing. So, and then the PRV. PRV is the spring pad in the back of the gun. Basically, when you delete the PRV, inside a normal spring pad is a little spring and a little pin. And you can adjust that to a certain point to go off at a certain pressure. But the pressures we use, you can crank it in all the way, it doesn't matter. We're always going to leak. That's why you delete that. So it's not leaking. So the PRV Delete VCAS spring kit that I invented is not for power. It was never got you more power. It has nothing to do with power. It only has to do with reliability. When I got that working, then I was able to get the gun higher and work my way up to higher joules. But bolt springs don't give you power. Right now, there's idiots out there going, I got the power bolt spring. It's going to give you all the power you need. A bolt spring cannot give you power. No gun, no marker out there. Spring will not give you power. My mom was about reliability. These guys are all crooks trying to rob you. They're going to Alibaba in China and they're buying little fucking springs that look like a VK spring. They measure it, okay. They go on Alibaba, spring, here's this dimension, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that one looks like it. Okay, 2 cents a piece? Nice, give me 1,000 of those. And they go on eBay, oh yeah, $30 for a spring, $18, $50, whatever they want to spend it for. They're selling a cheap little 5-cent spring for ridiculous amounts of money. They're like, it's the same specs as the BKS spring. It'll get you BKS power. First off, no, it won't. It's not the same spring. The springs I buy, the VKS springs, come straight from the manufacturer, Pepperball, and they're spec'd for their guns. And this spring is working with the Sear spring. You don't see any of them selling the Sear spring because you can't just get a generic Sear spring because it's custom. So that's why they only offer that. But everyone's doing commercials. A new bolt power spring is going to bring you power. Let me explain how a bolt works because these retards don't know, and a lot of people don't. All the bolt spring does is return your bolt back to the sear. When you shoot, your bolt goes forward, pushes the spring back, lets it air, once all its air out, the spring has enough tension to bring it back and clip it to the sear and hold it. Now they work, the sear and the bolt spring work together. If it's too weak, it's not going to work right and you're going to double, triple shoot. If it's too strong, you're going to get kind of the same problems, but then you're going to start actually losing power because you're going to be restricting the bolt. Your bolt's coming out to hit a projectile, and now it's going against too much force, and you're going to lose power. So you could lose power, but you cannot gain power with a bolt spring. So all these retards calling it, I got the power bolt spring. There is no power bolt spring because a bolt spring cannot give you power. But they're making all these people believe this, and they're like, oh, hey, it's only $18, and it's going to give me power. What the hell? Then they get and go, oh, this didn't work. Oh, well. Yeah, that guy don't care. He just sold fucking hundreds of those going, woo, I only paid 5 cents, and I got $18 for John Wixian scumbag that he is. And there's many other people, because everyone's like, holy shit, these springs only cost 2 cents or 5 cents. And I can make $50. Some guy's selling for $30, $50 for a fucking spring. I could make these all day long right here in the shop. I buy Pepperballs because it's spec for their guns. It's original material. That's what I get from them. These guys are just robbing you blind and trying to make you believe that a bolt spring can get you power. I don't care. It could be solid fucking platinum, gold, whatever. A bolt spring cannot get you more power. And this all goes back to my mod. You say, oh, look at Sterling did it. Look at the numbers he's getting. All he did was bolts. No, that's not how he did it. I started out getting power. First, I needed reliability. And the springs I used, working together, the bolt and the sear, gave me the reliability I needed to get the gun working to test and shoot and work on new prototypes. So you guys could steal them and sell them later. Scumbags. But anyway, it's not about, and this video is not about them. They're just scumbags. They can't get a real job, so they got to try and rob people. But I keep seeing these things on Facebook. These guys selling these springs. New power spring. Go to get your power. I'm like, does anyone know how a fucking spring works? A bolt spring? I automatically assumed that no one would fall for this, being that they'd know that a bolt spring can't get you power. Can't get you more power. No matter what spring you put in there, it will not give you power. All the bolt spring does is return the bolt. If it's too weak, it's just going to keep firing and double shooting. If it's too strong, you're going to lose power. And you're not going to catch the sear correctly either. So don't fall into the trap. I know it's not a lot of money. You figure, oh, $18 or $30 or whatever you're charging. No, it's not that much money. That's what they're counting on. Then, oh, they're going to buy it, realize it don't work, and go, oh, well. No, fucking return them, the scumbags. They lied to you. You're not getting more power. Do all the testing you want. Take the ones you ordered, shoot with them, take them out, put your old spring back in and shoot with them and see what the difference is. They'll work better with whatever old spring. The stock FSC spring works better than the pieces of crap they're selling. But anyway, I just want to tell everybody, I didn't realize people didn't know. A bolt spring cannot get you more power. All it does is return the bolt back to the sear. That's it. So there's no magical spring mod. There is no power bolt spring. There can't be, because there's no way it can add power. It's just a bolt spring. But when you're changing its spring, your sear spring and your bolt spring work together. So if you just buy some random freaking spring, it's not going to work right. And I'm going to get guys mailing me guns going, it's not working right. I don't know why. And it's happened more than once now. I'm like, why didn't you tell me you changed the bolt? You could have saved yourself freaking shipping, and I would have told you that's your problem. Oh, I didn't even think about it. But they said it was going to give me more power. I'm like, did it give you more power? No. But that's it. That's it for this tech talk. I saw another commercial on Facebook. Fucking guys running their little commercials. New power spring, gonna get you power. You can't get power out of a spring. A bolt spring cannot get you power. And if any of you guys say it can, debate me. Tell me how a bolt spring adds power to any marker. Please tell me. I would like to know. Because apparently you know way more than me. Because I've never found a way that a bolt spring can give you more power. I found a way to give you less power, or to make your gun completely inconsistent, but I never found a way to get more power. My original mod with the springs was not for power. And I tell everyone that when they ask me, I'm like, no, it's about reliability, because the FSC was not built for high power at all. It was built for paintball, 14 joules. That's it. 280 feet per second with 4-gram rounds. That's what it's built for. You go up to 8, 10-gram rounds, those springs don't work anymore. The timing's all off. The sear and the bolt timing completely off. That's why I changed the VKS spring, because they were designed for a more powerful rifle, which is the VKS. So it wasn't rocket science. It wasn't some great epiphany. Just worked out back then. I was the only guy with a VKS. Nobody else had a VKS back then. And I had the parts to test it out, so I had the thought. It worked, and it worked out great. And that's what pretty much every FSC needs if you're going with high power. But, as I tell everyone, it's not going to give you more power. It'll just make your marker more consistent when using the right spring. Some random spring that they say, like Wixon is advertising on eBay, oh, it's the same specs as the VK. No, it's not. I got one of your crappy ass springs and I measured it. No, it is not the same specs. It's just some cheap Chinese fucking spring, because you're a scumbag thief and you like robbing people. Like you stole everyone else's. Even that one guy. The guy about 8 months ago came up with a pretty good idea. What was his name? I can't remember his name, but came out with a really good idea. He 3D printed his own barrels, and just to hold the freak sleeve. Like 3D printing is not going to hold up, with rounds going through it, but it was just holding a freak sleeve, so that's the metal part. So that was a good idea. Sorry to say that John Wixon stole it from the guy and is now selling his idea that he came up with 8 months ago on eBay. Sorry, bud, you got to compete with your own fucking idea and your own product, but it's a world we live in. And tell you, these guys, what they're doing is, I'm not coming out with any more mods. What's the point? I come out with a new mod, and now it just makes some scumbag money. I'd rather lose money than see any of these douchebags make money. Now, once again, I'm telling you, people, don't buy off these scumbags. You're buying off people that didn't invent these things. That means they know nothing about it, and odds are they're not done well or right, because they don't even understand how they work. All they do is buy them off guys like me, and, the UK guy and a bunch of other guys. They buy them and they copy them. And then they sell them. Scumbags. Anything to make money. Can't get a real job. Oh, and, text from, okay, Chavo, here's your, pretty cool, 3D printed FSC. Java on Hawaii, he's making some good leather holsters. Sent me one. He's working on a new one now that's going to take a compensator and a boulder mini. And now he just needed a mold because when you make the leather, you need something to bend it around. So there's your 3D printed FSC. Hot off the printer. Came out pretty good. Looks nice. Carbon fiber. Looks like a real one. It came out good. Should suit your purposes. See, make some good holsters out of this. All right, guys. That's it for my rant and tech talk for the night. Just want to let you guys know, don't buy some bolt spring that ain't going to work. It's just a waste of money. And it's going to fuck your gun up. And if you did buy one, test it with bolt springs back and forth and you realize. And send it back to whoever scumbag you bought it from. Because it only costs him 5 freaking cents and it costs you anywhere from 18 to 50, depending on who you're buying them off. Now, a couple guys tried this a couple years ago, 2 years ago. We all knew that was our old guys. You know, try to copy my mod with the fake springs, and we called them out, and they didn't work. But anyway, all right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully it won't be a rant. It'll be shooting something or something fun. All right, stay safe.